What's going on? It is Jason. Woo-woo. Howdy, God, that's a mighty good coup pack. We are live in full effect. Let me just hop on here and make sure that my audio is okay. Alright, we'll tap in here. Coup pack. We are live in full effect. Audio sounds great. We're on this. Let's go. Alright. I'm a little wired. I had a butt ton of, I don't like the word, but I had a lot of candy. I had a lot of candy. Alright, here we go. Yeah. Let's pin that bad boy. All right. How's everybody doing? It's been a busy weekend. It's been quite hectic, but it's been a lot of fun too. Leah had a lot going on with her business, so she's been busy dealing with that. I've been taking care of the kids, cleaning the house, doing dad duty, and basically getting the kids ready for tonight. We went to a fall festival, and man, they had a lot of fun. It was Rayma. Rayma loves to seek and hunt candy. I think she's addicted to candy, to be quite honest. She's just out there trying to get candy. She doesn't care if the person's got a scary mask or anything. If they're like waving or handing candy, she'll go right up to them. So that's dangerous. But yeah, she has no qualms about trying to get as much candy as she possibly can, which is really cute, but makes me a little nervous too. She goes all out for some candy. What else? Oh, we got booed. I don't know. Am I spitting on myself? What's going on? We got booed, and I'm not sure if you guys ever been booed before, you know anything about being booed, but we got booed by a neighbor. I'm not sure which neighbor booed us, but they left a Halloween gift for us, and basically it says this: we've got booed. And so here's what it says. You've been booed. You have two choices. Keep this going by making a copy of the sheet and booing a neighbor, which is awesome. Second, enjoy your treats. Don't feel any pressure to boo a neighbor. Halloween should be fun, not stressful. So either way, put the I've been booed sign up so your neighbors know that you've already been booed. I actually took it a step further. Not only did we got a gift for a neighbor that we booed, but I also made two copies of this, so we can put one on the outside of the bag like we received it, like this one came, and then there was two of these in the bag with the gift, so the person didn't have to make copies. We're paying it forward a little bit, so a lot of fun. So we got booed, which is awesome. Really, really surprising. I was walking out to the car, and it was just sitting by the front door, and I was like, oh, what's this? And yeah, how sweet and thoughtful, but never had this happen to us before, so it was a lot of fun. So we went to the store today, got some really cool decorative cookies and a bunch of candy, threw it in the bag, printed a couple of those out, and we went and booed our next door neighbor. And so that's awesome. Kids loved it. It's teaching the kids how to be generous, I think, and thinking of others, which I find really awesome that we can instill that in the kids and them take part and get excited about it. And then Judah was super excited to take it to our next door neighbor. We asked him, who did he want to boo? And he was like, oh, the neighbor that lives across from us. She's a teacher at Judah's school, and she has two young kids, one older kid and then a very small, tiny kid. So yeah, it was fun to boo them. So, yeah, here's to booing our neighbor. And then, and we went down the road to the church that's down the road from the Bashes. We got a Bashes close by to where we live. Bashes is a chain of grocery stores that is kind of like a Safeway, but it's like privately owned. Anyways, there's this church right next to the Bashes that does pumpkin sale, and they have a plethora of pumpkins that you can buy, from big ones to little ones, and all kinds of sized pumpkins, and it's a good cause to support. So we went, bought a bunch of pumpkins, and we definitely needed some because Judah had a homework assignment. Had to take some pumpkins and then either carve the pumpkin or create something with the pumpkin that is in reference to his favorite book. So he likes the Very Hungry Caterpillar. So it was really cool. We basically, Judah and I, we decorated this little hungry caterpillar with all these little pumpkins. So we put it on this little wooden plate that we have. But yeah, check this thing out. Isn't that a cool idea? And it looks like the little hungry caterpillar from the book. So that was fun. So we did that, and it was fun to decorate that thing. And I don't know, did you see that? Maybe I got it out of focus, but let me just get this thing right here. Yeah, get it in focus. That's it. Yeah, so we decorated that and painted the pumpkins, got it all. It was not easy. It was not easy getting the pumpkins all in there. So what we did is we had the giant skewers, for like doing kebabs. We had these giant skewers, and basically what I did is drilled a hole through each one of the little pumpkins, and then I jammed the skewer into the head of the pumpkin, and that's what we ended up with. So we got it to work. So I'm excited for him to turn that in. If he wins the best creative idea for this pumpkin contest, he gets a surprise. So I'm hoping that he does well enough to get the surprise. He was super excited about it, and what a ton of fun. So, well, I got some exciting news. I've been waiting to do our letter vlog, and I've kind of had to put a pause to it, and there was a reason why. We got the letter I, which is my next video, is the letter I, and I happened to purchase a new iPhone. and I'm sure some of you are like, Jason, didn't you just get a new iPhone 16 Pro like a couple months ago? And you would be correct. I did get a new iPhone 16 Pro to replace my iPhone 12, I think it was, that I had. Super old, but I went ahead and I was frustrated. And here's the story. We've been dealing with AT&T for quite some time. We've had AT&T. I've had AT&T for a long time. Even back when I originally had the very first iPhone. I bought the iPhone in 2007, was probably one of the first persons in Alaska to actually own the iPhone. I'm just throwing that out there because I actually bought it. My girlfriend and my mom went in and got it for me as a present, and so she and my mom got me this iPhone. They weren't selling them. We had to order it special and get it shipped up to Alaska because that's where I was living at the time. And so therefore they didn't even have AT&T in Alaska yet. So we had this company called GCI. But we heard that you could utilize activation of these phones on GCI lines. You just had to wait. And do it some sort of unique way. It was a weird thing. I'm making the story 100 times longer. But I went ahead and did that. I got the iPhone right when it first came out and was super excited. I've been an iPhone user ever since. And eventually when AT&T got established in Alaska, we went ahead and switched services to AT&T. And I've been basically with AT&T ever since then. This has been like almost 20 some years. It's crazy. But here's the thing. They've been kind of upsetting me lately, and they've upset me in the past, and I kind of gutted it out and stuck with them, kept giving them money for silly reasons that I don't know why we stayed with them. And then I got here, and then we have multiple choices now. You know, in Alaska, you're kind of stuck with AT&T and GCI, and I think those were our mobile services providers there. You're limited. Here you got quite an array of different carriers that you could, you know, you got AT&T, you got T-Mobile, you got Verizon, you got all these other entities to choose from. Cox being another one that you could get your self-service through Cox. So I got really upset with them, and I felt kind of like they weren't providing great customer service. They weren't, and it makes me sad to say all this, but it was very frustrating. They kind of jerked me around with that whole internet stuff. Then they jerked me around with the iPad and the Apple Watch and all this other stuff. They jerked me around, didn't have really solidified customer service that I felt like they should have provided when they messed up, and they jacked my account up. They jacked the information that they provided me up, because there's this huge disconnect between AT&T stores and the customer service line. There's just this huge gap of information that just doesn't seem to be communicated well within the company, because you get something from an AT&T store that doesn't resonate with the customer service store. It just seems like they're two different companies, and it's weird, and it didn't really make me feel good. So I was having issues with the iPhone 16 Pro Max that I had, and I was just like going in, dealing with it. I wanted to upgrade. I just said, forget it, just give me a newer phone. They're like, you're gonna have to pay this one off. You know, it was just this whole thing. And I was like, you know what, I don't have to put up with this anymore. So I was like, I'm canceling my service with you guys. I'm just done. And whatever, if I have to pay and buy out whatever it is, I'm gonna do it, because I don't want to give you guys another cent of my money anymore. And I'm sure it doesn't really matter, because they're a really I'm sure they know my whatever isn't going to impact their bottom line, but it just doesn't make me feel good giving them any more of my money that I worked really hard for. I'm done. I was done dealing with it. And so I canceled my services with them, and then I went to Verizon. So I'm now with Verizon, and Verizon had this really good deal going that, hey, they will buy you out of your contract at AT&T, blah, blah, blah. You get everything shipped. Did it, and it's been great. Although and let me just tell you how great it's been. So I'm a dodo head. I ordered the new iPhone Pro 17, the cosmic orange, the really dope one that you see all over social media now. Ordered that one, was really excited about it, thinking I was getting the iPhone Pro Max. I dropped the ball and ordered the wrong dang phone. I ordered the little phone, which I've been a Max user, which I like the bigger phone with the bigger screen and the whole nine. So I was a dodo head and thought that the iPhone Pro 17 was the big one, not realizing I needed to get the Max. And so I ordered it, and I waited So that's why I was putting a halt to doing the I video, the letter vlog I, because I wanted to do it on the iPhone once I got it. And I did get it very quickly. I got it within a week and a half. And so I was excited. I got the phone. I was ready to shoot. I did an unboxing, was ready to shoot the video talking about it and the whole gambit, and realized I ordered the small one. I was like, no. So I contacted Verizon. I was like, how big of a pain in the butt is it for me to like get the bigger phone, the iPhone Pro 17 Max, not the little guy? And they're like, not a problem at all. And we'll get the iPhone 17 Pro Max ordered for you and shipped to you right away. And you'll just return that one that you have, and it's a done deal. You don't even have to pay the restocking fee, which is dope. I was like, are you sure? And they're like, yep, don't worry about it. And I was like, this is awesome. They felt really like they didn't do anything wrong, but they felt as if they needed to provide really great customer service, like it should be. And I don't know if that's everybody's experience with Verizon. I'm sure tons of people have frustrations with them, just like I had frustrations with AT&T, but who knows? All I know is that not only did the customer service at the store was legit, the same customer service I received from the customer service line, and it was phenomenal. And I felt really good about the whole experience. I'm really excited about it. It's been a great experience thus far. But the problem was the whole iPhone Pro 17 Maxes were on back order. So I had to like wait almost like 3 weeks to get it. And I finally got it. So without further ado, here is the iPhone Pro 17 Max. This bad boy right here is the Cosmic Orange. And here's my thoughts on it. This is a great phone. I love this phone. I love everything about it. I love the shooting capabilities. I did a quick little cinematic opener for the video that I'm doing about this phone, which was a lot of fun. And I shot it all with the Blackmagic app that we have because I wanted to shoot everything open gate, which is something that you can do on these iPhones to take advantage of the full sensor that this thing has. And I wanted to shoot raw log, which a ProRes raw log. I did that to an external drive, the whole gambit. I did it all with this. This thing's a beast, and it's really phenomenal, and I'm really excited about it. I noticed a couple difference between this one and the iPhone 17 Pro, not the Max. This one seems lighter than the other one, which is unique. It's like the other ones seemed a little more solid and a little bit beefier. This one seems like really light and thin. So I found that to be quite intriguing. And the other thing about this one that it kind of bugs me about it, there is a couple things that bug me about this phone. One of them being this little lip right here. It catches, like this little thing. I don't know why. It's like, I think that's like a design flaw like that. You can probably hear that. It's like, why is that a thing? Like, it should be such a smooth surface all the way around, and it's not. It's like this weird little lip right there where it connects to this little back plate thing. I don't know what that is. But anyway, this is that new heat thing that to keep the phone cooler, basically. So the iPhone 17 Pro didn't seem to have that like on it. Like, I could tell it was smooth. This one just is not yeah, it's weird. That's a weird thing that kind of bugs me a little bit. But anyway, other than that, it's a small little thing to annoy me. I'm not too disappointed in it thus far, so I'm dealing with it. But other than that, man, this thing is really cool. I've had the other one for like 3 weeks, the Pro, not the Max, but the Pro, and it was great. There is these videos that are circulating about these cosmic orange things turning pink because you clean it with certain cleaner or whatever, and it causes it to change colors. I'm trying to avoid that. I'm not cleaning it with any kind of harsh chemicals, so but yeah, this is what I'm using it as my monitor right now to monitor my talking head. I did have it plugged in here as a second camera feed, but for whatever reason it just didn't work, so, which I thought was a bummer. I was hoping that it worked. Maybe it will. Let me see now. No, still not working, which is weird. I have an HDMI thing, plug it in. You thought it would be ported, but it's not, so. But, oh well. Well, anyway. So yeah, I'm doing a video about it. I am making it's back to the letter I vlog, so it will I'll probably drop that here, if not tomorrow, definitely Tuesday. It's taken me a little bit longer because I just got this thing yesterday, so I'm trying to wrap it all up and get it done, and hopefully I'll drop that video, if not tomorrow, probably Tuesday. So that is where we're at. Let's do some analytics. All right. So for those that may be tuning in, or if you're new to the channel, every Sunday I go live like this, just tell you what's going on in my life, and then I go into the back end of my YouTube and share my analytics. I just share everything with you guys, basically how the channel is progressing. And what I do is I'll take it week by week. So I'll take this previous week and compare it to this week. And then that way you can see how the channel's progressing. And it's kind of fun. And then I look at some other cool little analytics that are on there, and then some of my popular videos for the week that were on there. So let's go ahead and dive into it. I know. What's up, Joe? Yeah, it is. It is already Sunday, and we're already going live, man. So here we are. Want to give my boy Joe Schmo a shout out. He is a shout out. Yeah. I want to give him some love because the dude's always a supporter of the channel. He's been rocking with me for a long time, so thank you, Mr. Joe Schmo. You're the myth, the man, the legend. So, all right, let's go ahead and dive into these YouTube analytics to see how the channel's been doing. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and open up my YouTube. And for those that are new, I do have a little bit of a setup. I have a talking head cam. I have my MacBook here that we'll switch to, and that way we can walk through this all together, which will be a lot of fun. So, oh, Justin Phillips is live right now. That dude is awesome. I like Justin Phillips. All right, we'll go here, and then I'll go picture in picture down at the bottom. There we are. Here is the El Chano. So I'll go Justin Phillips. He's this guy right here. He's alive. Dude, super talented dude. He's really in the industry, like filming features and shorts, and he's doing YouTube stuff, which is a lot of fun. So Volandis, this dude is a very impactful creator, and I just love his videos. I just love his style, his vibe. Super awesome dude. But all right, here we are. Let's go ahead and hop open the YouTube studio. Pop open analytics. So here's what the channel's done in the last 28 days. I consider this the top 3 for me. I got views, watch hours, and subscribers. Right now, this last 28 days, I've gotten 17,000 views, 103 watch hours, and 35 new subscribers. Boop, boop. That's freaking awesome. Thank you guys. Thank each and every one of you that come along with me on this crazy journey of YouTubing and creating and doing the thing and having fun doing it. So I appreciate you. All right, let's go ahead, and what I like to do is compare. So I compare it to this week to the previous week. So I have to go in here and custom tailor it. Basically drop this to this, and this is what the channel's done. Let's go ahead and hit it. Boom! So here is what the channel's done in the last week. This past week, I've gotten 4,000 views, 32 watch hours, and 7 new subscribers. Now I'm going to compare to the previous week, but the previous week was a banger. It was like super grow. Channel but anyway, you'll see. Here we go. Now I have to go to advanced mode up here and then go into add comparison, period over period, hit add. So you're gonna see, here we are. So the previous week, I got 7,922 views. This week I got 4,582. So the previous week was a banger, but this week's still pretty good. This is the average for me. Typical week for me is about 4,000 to 5,000 views, which is awesome. And I'm always grateful for those tuning in. And now I go over to watch hours. Previous week, I got 41. Previous week is all in purple. This week, I got 32. So, not bad. Pretty close. And then now we'll look at subscribers. Previous week, I got 23. This week, I got 7. Still a lot. So, yeah, like I said, the previous week was a banger. And it really, I got a lot of views. I got a lot of subscribers for whatever reason that week. Well, a couple reasons. My friend Joseph did a video, shouted me out, and that got me a few new subscribers. And then a couple other videos popped off there for a minute, and it got me some new subscribers as well. So a lot of fun. I am grateful. All right, so that's the top 3 for me, basically, and the comparison from the previous week to this week. Now I like to geek out on a couple other things, so I'll remove the comparison, and then I go up here to content, and now I'm going to geography. So this is where everybody's tuning in this week. We got United States, India, United Kingdom, Indonesia, Australia, Canada, Pakistan, and Nepal. Still worldwide, baby. Whoop, whoop. And then I like to go into viewer age. And yeah, a little bit of all over the place here. This one always kind of being my top one. 25 to 34-year-olds are the ones that consume the majority of my content. The second place is usually 35 to 44. This is usually the third. And then this is fourth, fifth, and sixth. There's even like 13-year-olds to lower over here that typically watches too. They're a small percentage. So yeah, across the board, it's kind of neat. It's kind of neat to see this little graph of viewer age. Now let's go to gender. Typically, yeah, this makes a lot of sense. Anywhere from 70 to 80, sometimes 90% of my content is viewed by males, and then anywhere from 20 to 10% female viewership, so which is kind of fun. Yeah, let's go into device type. Here we are. Mobile phone. Always mobile phone taking the top spot. But what I like to look at is the operating system. So Android has been killing it for the last 8-9 weeks. There was a time where Apple and iOS devices were running top dog, but it hasn't been that way. And I've just been fighting to get iPhones back on top on viewership. Just a fun little competition. That's all it is. It doesn't matter to however you watch my content on whatever device you have, whatever operating system is completely fine with me. I'm just an Apple fanboy, and I like to make little competitions out of things sometimes, and this was one of them that I found fun, flopping back and forth between Android and Apple devices. But let's go ahead and see who's on top. Boom. Android again for like 10 weeks straight. Android's been on top. So here we go. All right. Well, that's it. Let's look at what has been the top performing. Let's go ahead and get out of this. Let's go ahead and look at the top performing content from this period, this past week. Perfect Neighbor documentary. Woo, yeah. I tell you what, man, that Perfect Neighbor documentary it was a great documentary. If you haven't seen it, this may be a spoiler, but it was a really, really cool documentary. The way that they filmed it, how they filmed it, and told the story, it was a unique way. There wasn't somebody narrating you along. They were just actually showing you body cam footage from the police footage that they had. Some people had some cell phone footage, and they just kind of compiled it all together and told the story in what took place in the past 2 years between these neighbors. Fortunately, there was somebody that lost their life. She happened to be a mother of 4 kids, and a lot of it was based on like racial issues and anger issues and frustrations and people just making decisions based out of fear, and found it very sad. And but especially that somebody had to lose their life over it. And one of the things I found in my 49 years of existence on this earth is that so many things can be resolved with just when you seek to understand and you operate from a place of grace and you communicate well to avoid these kind of situations. Now, don't get me wrong. There's some crappy people in the world that just want to be destructive, and they just live in a very broken place. But for the most part, I think we can get along. For the most part, we can move through this world when you operate from a place of grace and seek to understand and have that as the driving factor. Just, I don't know, maybe I'm being overly optimistic, but that's how I would love for things to be sometimes. But I know the world is not that way a lot of the time. So, but yeah. All right, what else? I just kind of went on a rant about that documentary again. Talking about rando video, kind of little lower viewerships on some of my shorts, and I didn't really pump out a video this past week. I didn't put out a video, like a long form video. I wanted to wait to get my iPhone video dialed in, so I'm excited about that. A couple of my older videos got quite a few views, which is really cool. This FX6 one and this I Don't Trust Women. My wife's like, why did you put that title on there? It's like, that was the actual that I don't trust women video was me being vulnerable. This is like when I first moved here to Arizona. I was going through a challenging situation with one of my baby mamas, and it was a challenging situation that has been going on for quite some time, and I was feeling frustrated but also keeping it inside and not communicating. So I was harboring some things and I wasn't communicating how I was feeling. Therefore, that was coming out of me in very negative ways towards my wife. And so it was a good video talking about some things where, I made a little bit of some growth, and I listened to my wife, and I validated that things could have been a lot better if I just communicated with her about some things. So yeah, but the problem was, based on my years in multiple relationships with different women that I've had throughout my years, they haven't been the healthiest relationships for me. Some of them caused by my own. I had a part in all those difficult relationships, but what it all always boils down to is my trust issues in certain things. When you get burned so many times, dealing with certain things, you tend to be really standoffish when it comes to trusting stuff. And that's where I found myself. And my wife was taking the brunt of my past hurts, but worked through all that, and my wife's me and my wife are in a better place now, and definitely I'm a lot more vulnerable about things, and especially working a program like Celebrate Recovery where I walk through these things. And yeah, anyways, that's a fun video. I typically don't watch my old videos. Rarely I'll go and dive into them because they're kind of like journal entries for me, but that was a good one. I kind of liked it. All right, I think that is everything. Let me just hop over here. All right, guys. Well, yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited about Halloween. The kids are dressing up as Bluey and Bingo. So Judah is being Bluey, Rayma is Bingo, and then my wife is the mom, and I am dad. I am Bandit. So we went to the fall festival tonight, and the kids had their Bluey costumes, and we dressed up with our costumes, and it was fun. It was fun, family. I had the picture. What did I do with the picture? Let me see if I can find the picture real quick, and I'll show you guys how we all looked. It'll be fun. Let me find that picture. I wasted way too much time trying to find this thing, but thanks for bearing with me if you're still watching. But here is the picture. Yeah. This is all of us in our little bluey costume. Yeah. There we are. Let's see if you can see that. There we are. All right, guys. Well, it's been a fun weekend. Super fun today. Kids out enjoying themselves, getting ready for Halloween. It was a really cool fall festival. A lot of classic cars out. People giving out candy outside the trunks of their classic cars that they had out tonight. And they had a lot of fun. So Judah's excited about his Caterpillar. So other than that, I'm excited about my new phone. So yeah, guys, thanks so much for tuning in to this week's live. Greatly appreciate you guys coming along with me on this journey. And with that, I will go ahead and catch you on the next one. Yeah. Let me end